The last three episodes of Love Island, not the best, but we've had so much drama this season, it's not surprising that it's come to this. And also, the last week to week and a half of Love Island USA is usually like this, where you just have the couples kind of, being happy together most of the time. They're still adding past players, which, whatever. I think that Friday and Sunday's episodes in particular were on the boring side. I think the Harrison-centric Friday episode was just bad. Him and Sierra, it's like, they're not going to go far this late in the game, but I guess they needed to do something. I still think that adding past players this late in the game doesn't add a whole lot to the show overall, but that's what they decided to do again. I think the main thing on Sunday's episode was seeing more of Janae and Kenny. And Kenny, in that episode, and again tonight, has definitely come out of his box. And he's become more likable. He was so hard to read for so long. But I think Janae has helped bring him out of his shell. They also got voted into the Hideaway, which seemed to go very well for them. Like, I know I talked a lot of crap about Kendall and Nicole's Hideaway, but that just seems so boring. These two, I think Janae's just so fun that they were not going to not have fun. And I think they had a lot of fun that night because it didn't look like Janae slept much, judging by her eyes the next morning. So I think the Hideaway did its job for those two. I think they've grown on me a lot. Kenny and Janae have definitely become my faves. Well, one of my faves. I still am Team Serena and Cordell. I think they should win still at this point. I think they gave us the best television overall. I think Serena gave us the best television overall. I think Serena has been so real this season. It's hard to come by in reality TV these days, someone being so real on reality television. I know, what a shocker, but it is hard to come by. So I hope that they win, and that's probably who I'll be voting for. But Kenny and Janae, I understand why their fan base, stan base, has grown a lot over the past couple of weeks. I didn't like that Kenny's heart raised the most for Kaylor in the competition. Kaylor did come out first, though, which I think is an advantage in that game. So that is a strike against Kenny for me, that his heart did not raise the most for Janae, because Janae came out pretty hardcore in that, although her strategy in that to make Kenny watch obviously didn't work. I honestly was expecting Rob's heart rate to raise the most from Janae. There's this whole thing online that Rob wants Janae. I don't think it's true. But during that competition, it looked like Rob's heart rate was getting raised the most. But I think production has a whole thing with Rob and Leah and trying to get them back together. I don't believe, is what I'm saying, that Rob's heart rate rose the most for Leah. That's what I'm saying. I feel like that has been production's little thing to keep the weird TikTokers rooting for that toxic relationship between Leah and Rob to come back together in the end. And production's been teasing it for the past week. And I don't know if they want it to happen or if they want to just keep teasing it to get the TikTokers' hopes up. But personally, I'm hoping that the boring episodes from Friday and Sunday made the TikTokers and their lack of attention span kind of get bored by the show and stop watching. Because the whole Lee and Rob thing, it's got to die. It comes off as forced. And in a season that brought us some real drama early on between Rob and Leah, and brought us the realest and rawest drama I've seen in a long time between Serena and Cordell, I just can't get behind this contrived, clearly production stirring the pot stuff between Rob and Leah. It's not doing it for me. But also, is Leah and Miguel doing it for me? I don't know. They said that Miguel's heart rate raised the most for Cassie, who's coming back now. Do I believe that, or is that just production interference? I'm not convinced, honestly. Call me a conspiracist. Leah has so many stands that I think that whoever she ends up with has a possibility of winning. I do feel like a part of her stan base doesn't want her and Rob together, though, which is fair, because if you actually are a fan of Leah, why would you want her back with somebody who disrespected her so much, kind of played the victim to make Leah feel bad and look like the bad guy, and then Leah had to do most of the apologizing again weeks later? Like, not a fan of that if they get back together, but also not necessarily rooting for Leah and Miguel either. I still think that Cordell and Serena are just the best thing to come out of the season. They were my favorites before Casa Amor, but there was all that drama, and I felt some kind of way about Cordell. But they won me back because I feel like Cordell has been his authentic self too. He and Serena are just so goofy, but their goofy personalities just fit together very well. And I just love that Serena has stayed true to herself, still moving slow, no matter if Cordell likes her or not. But Cordell's being a good guy and doing the right thing and waiting for them to be outside of the house to go more further. But both of their heart rates raised the most for each other as well. I think Serena laid it down on Cordell quite literally, so I'm not surprised by that. And vice versa. Cordell was hilarious in the heart-raising game, although all the guys killed it on an entertainment factor of being both funny and trying to be sexy. Kenny was great as well. And I think Kenny and Janae would make a perfect second place couple. As much as I have grown to like them, I just think that Serena and Cordell are actually the most compatible. Despite all their drama this season, they've shown a lot of passion. But the Leah stans will be a contender as well, whoever she ends up with. I guess lastly, I should talk about Aaron and Kaylor, I guess. Like, this relationship is the most toxic. Like, Rob and Leah have had their problems, and production's trying to do whatever it takes to get them back together, I guess, or whatever, for the stands that are annoying. But Aaron has been such a gaslighter, such a manipulator, that it's been hard to watch. And Kayla's already hard to watch because it's like beating a dead horse that she's such an annoying crier. But she is. But the whole situation is beating a dead horse. And I'm glad they find themselves at the bottom, and I don't think they're going to get voted out yet, but they should, because it's just been, it's not good TV to watch them anymore. The biggest thing between Cordell and Serena and Aaron and Kaylor is that Cordell remained himself throughout that whole thing. And Serena did kind of, make him feel like a friend sometime early in that relationship. So Cordell had every right to explore, but of course he went too far. Coming back, Cordell did some stupid stuff for a while. The whole bringing her food, bringing them both food at the same time was dumb. But basically from the beginning, or at least from 24 hours back from Casa, Cordell realized that he wanted Serena. The passion for each other was there, and yeah. But Aaron tried to gaslight Kaylor multiple times, and it was like Kaylor had to find out the truth a little at a time, and it kept coming out more and more a little at a time. And we had the issue of Kaylor crying, taking him back. Kaylor crying, taking him back. And yeah, it's no surprise to me that they are on the bottom, because it's not a fun situation to watch. Like, I feel like the show has tried to make the last 2 episodes look like they're just back on the right track and they're good together. But their drama, because of all the gaslighting and the manipulation, was very toxic. Borderline mentally abusive, if I go so far as to say. Especially at the times when Aaron was not letting Kaylor speak and was trying to overtalk her and just act like it was no big deal and this is what really happened. Yeah. Ugly situation.